Today is Sunday, it's the 29th of May 2022, and we made a visit to Felanitx today. And one of the things I wanted to see while we're in Felanitx was the Sanctuary of Sant Salvador, and this is the monument behind us. We're just going to have a look at that first, and then we'll have a look at the monastery as well. So you can see the monuments from down below. They are actually quite spectacular when you get close to it. Right at the top is Christ the King, and there's a regal set of stairs to climb up to the monument. The monument itself is made out of copper. Being the chemist, I'm interested in things like that, and it's 7 meters tall. The other materials, stonework, I'm not so sure. Ionic columns supporting, and there's a gated off part. Always interested when you get gated off parts, it means there must be something interesting at the top of the steps. So I'll climb to the top of the steps. And the first thing I notice is that there's some glass in the floor, probably where the lighting is, and an altar of sorts. And above, at the top, if I put the camera through and you look up, there's some quite nice painting on the ceiling there. We are very high up, around about 500 meters, which means the views from up here are absolutely spectacular. So let's go and take a look. Carefully down the steps. So as I said, we went to the market in Felanitx before we came here, and big market, well worth a look if you're into markets. And we've also been to the castle, which is on the adjacent hill. But we're just walking round this monument here and just looking at the spectacular views. This was built, the monastery originally was started in the 14th century, so it's been around for a long time. The monument here is much newer, obviously, but the views similar to those views that I was spying from the hill over there, which is where the castle is. I did actually take a little video from the castle. So that flat part is the flat part of the castle. It's got a plateau at the top, which is what they were going to use should they be invaded. The local people would be able to get into the castle. They'd hoarded amount of food. They'd got a system for water up there. They could take their sheep and their goats and their chickens, and so they could actually last up there for a long time. And the steepness of the cliff face on either side, all around it really, means it would be very difficult for invaders. And from that point and from this point, you've got spectacular views of the coastline of this area, so you'd actually see anybody coming in if there were invaders. That's the whole idea of having these places here. Interestingly, down there's a quarry, and it looks all fairly recent. Take out the stone for the local buildings, and I'm told on a clear day we can see Majorca. I can't see Mallorca today, and yes, I can see Cabrera, so I was wondering where Cabrera was. It's not such a clear day today, there's a haze, but that's where Cabrera is. So that's where Colonia Sant Jordi is. So Anita was asking me that. But we're right at the top of a hill, so everywhere we look from here, it's down. Building we need to go and have a look at. We going down there? Anyway, the steps, go and have a look. So one of the things Anita spotted was the stone lion. We actually brought a picnic today, so we've just eaten our picnic up here. There's a nice breeze to keep us cool. There's the lion, keeping guard. A copper door. So I'm imagining there's some sort of a chapel inside there. Another place to come and feast your eyes upon these views.
Down here, but we're not going to. Let's have a photo.
So a spotted Cabrera deer. It's over that way.
Yeah. Let's have a photo.
Yeah. I just had a photo call. The road up was one of the most twisty roads I've actually driven on, and there are some very twisty roads on this island, but it was incredibly twisty. When we get to the top we find there's a coach.
Maybe go another way.
God, I think I would like to drive up here in a coach. It's bad enough in my car. Very warm though today, end of May, and the temperatures in the high 30s.
Is this from Venezia? No, from here? From here? Yes, I think so, yeah. Look.
I can fix that. There is a blot on the landscape. Being a high and strategic point, they've gone and planted a huge set of antennas.
They're on the roof here as well, the monastery.
Sorry?
They're on the roof of the monastery as well.
Antennas everywhere. Yeah. The price we pay for telephones and internet. And here's the useful sign. It looks a little bit faded, but even I can read. It says bar, restaurant. Oh, there's a spring in Anita's step now. A glass of rosado.
The toilet.
And that's quite an array of antenna. Loads of them. Their own generator. So it's quite a huge car park if you do come here. There's loads of parking. Lots of people, as we were driving up, were arriving on bicycles. They were cycling up, and that looked like hard work.
car park up here as well.
And the car park actually continues right up to the monastery. And not to have just one monument, there's another one just over there.
I think we'll walk over there today, shall we?
There is a picnic area as well. So just down here, you can see there's lots of benches. Even places where you could, at one time, not at this time of year, but you can actually bring some charcoal and do a barbecue. But on the next hill along, there's a cross. So we've got another little monument. Just going to make our way up. So another array of antenna down there as well. It's the capital of Mallorca for antennae.
Down there.
So we could have come had a picnic down, and we sat right by the car actually, but we found a shady spot because there was a wall to sit on and a tree. The monastery is obviously a working monastery. And they've got their restaurant and cafe, and I think there's rooms you can actually stay. Be a great place to get away from it all, just to enjoy the views. So quite a steep climb to get to here though. That's the other way to travel. Get yourself a scooter. Oof. Nearly at the top. And what do we see at the top? There's a well. I wonder how deep that is. Where does it go down to? Usually what they are, they're places where the rainwater is being collected. Not really a well as such, as a tank. So there we've got now a really good view of the other cross in the distance there. It's actually quite a climb to get up to that one. A zigzaggy path to get up to it. I might not make that one.
Not today.
And this is the well. You press a button, you can get the water from the well. This water is potable. So it's drinkable. You can drink this water. Wow. This is the monastery itself. And it's actually a hotel, Sant Salvador Hotel, so you can come to stay here. Anita's going up to investigate, as Anita does.
We don't want to come and stay here, do we?
You don't want to come? I think it'd be quite nice. Oh, you get a last supper.
Toilet.
More steps. And I suppose because if you're going to have a monastery, you need to have a church to go with it. So looks like that's the church up there. I'll wait for Anita. We'll go and have a look. Just I'm standing here, hearing music coming from the church. So we've got to go and investigate, haven't we?
Went in another church, we had to pay for the lights to come on, didn't we?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Modern picture in front, painting.
roof now of the monastery. Oh, it's a long way down there.
Not looking.
Looking back to the monument where we've just been, and one of the things we've just seen was a well. So the well's actually a tank, so when the rain comes down on here, all the water gets collected and it runs into a tank, and there the water is stored until it's required. It doesn't rain a lot here, unfortunately, so I don't know whether they manage to collect enough water. But not all of the old houses used to have tanks underneath them. Certainly ours does. Beautiful breeze up here though. Might not be so good for the sound, but it's very good for us. Keeps us a bit cool. There's a modern touch, some glass bricks. And that will be allowing light into somewhere below, just as the glass
The restaurant, I think.
the floor here. So, some modern parts to this monastery that was built or started all of those years ago. Some nearly 700 years ago, nearly.
Careful.
Those famous words spoken again, but there is actually a rail for me to hold on to here so I can support myself as I go down these steps. Let me see if we can find a table so we can have a little drink. Lovely walk though today, visiting lots of nice places. We just happen to have a table in the shade. Perfect to me. Well, we've had a lovely day in and around the Felanitx area, in the town itself, up to the castle and now at the monastery. And we've done a little bit of walking and a bit of climbing.
Not that much.
We've done a few steps, most of them uphill.
9,000.
At 9,000, that's pretty good. By the time we get back to the car, you might nearly have got 10,000. So well, I think we deserve a little refreshment. So cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for watching.
Cheers.
That's good. And we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.
Bye.